Hi there, students. An epoch and an era, both countable nouns, two epochs, two eras. Both of these words talk about periods of time. Both of them are words that they use in geology. Let's see, in geology, an eon is the longest period of time, and this is split into eras, which is split into periods, which is split into epochs. So technically in geology, an era is longer than an epoch, but it really doesn't help us very much. Let's see, they're both talking about a specific period of time. I think both of them talk about a period of time when there are particular circumstances, particular events, particular people. So in the Thatcher era in the UK, in the Reagan epoch in the United States. So notice again, I'm using an epoch in the same way. I've been trying to find differences between them, but really these are both very, very similar words. Let's see, I think maybe an era could also talk about the reign of a particular monarch. So in the era of Elizabeth II, I guess you could say in the epoch of Elizabeth II as well. I think era is probably more common for kings and queens. The Victorian era, the Edwardian era, the Georgian era, but in all of these again I can use the word epoch as well. Okay, so an era and an epoch. A period of time which is marked by a particular style, by particular events. So he was one of the most remarkable teachers of his era. In the epoch where before cars, in the epoch of the horse and cart. So an era, a stage in the development of something. A period identified by some characteristic, by some particular feature. In the era of the Roman Empire, in the Roman era, an epoch, a period of time of a memorable event, a memorable date, but perhaps an event that begins a new period of development. So yes, the bombs at Nagasaki and Hiroshima began a new epoch in warfare. Okay, so the beginning of a period of history, something that marked an epoch in their history. I guess the death of Queen Elizabeth II marks I would say, the end of an era. She's a queen. The Prime Minister said that the country was moving into a new epoch. Okay, so an epoch and an era, these are both talking about periods of time. Okay, in the epoch of my youth, in the era of my youth, so epoch, a point in time, a period of time in the past. Okay, so what about the formality, era and epoch? I think I'm going to give era a 5.5 in formality and epoch a 6, but use both of them anywhere. I think epoch sounds a touch more formal. And then the word era comes from late Latin, era, an era or an epoch from which time was measured, and epoch comes from medieval Latin, epocha from ancient Greek, epoche, a check, a stop, a pause, yeah, a point at which something halts, and that's the idea. Epikeo, to hold in, to check, yeah, epi, upon, echo, have, to have upon, to hold upon. Okay, yeah, so I guess in an epoch and an age, it's a particular period of history, yeah, something that is noteworthy, but as well an era as well. So, enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Epoch, era.